everybody take your seats and get ready to stand and get up out of those seats. We got 2 matches to go here at the championships in Phoenix. Come on.
The top beach volleyball players on the AVP have come to the desert to battle it out for supremacy in the sand. The sun is setting in downtown Phoenix, but the action heating up. We are down to just 2 teams in the women's division here in the 2022 AVP Phoenix Championships. Wow, is this getting exciting. The crowd is out. Dane Bland alongside Cameron Irwin, and it has been a couple of days of upsets. The top 2 seeds are out. The 3rd and 4th seed will battle it out for the Phoenix Championship. Let's start first with Kloth and Kristen Nuss.
Yes, they have been so good this weekend. So physical in their approach, and a lot of it coming at the hand of Kloth, the 6'4" attacker. She has just been phenomenal. You see the 2 wins for them over Scholes, Durango, as well as Hughes and Polinsky. She's been lights out. She's bringing it from the service line. She's bringing it from the block, and she's also bringing it right there from the offensive standpoint. And she's paired off with one of the most elite defenders on the sand, Kristen Nuss. But the other side of the net, we talk about elite defenders. Well, this one right here, Betsy Flint, she's right up there with the best. Cheng and Flint picking up wins over Pavin and Muno, as well as Cannon and Sponsel in straight sets. That's also important to note. They are lightning quick, and especially you got to watch out for that option play from Kelly Cheng. She is dominant in that regard.
So we have quite the matchup. Number 4 versus number 3. Remember, Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss, they have won 3 times out of 5 against this team, so they have a little bit of an edge. We can imagine it is going to be some fireworks. Let's go down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not already, please get on your feet and remove your hats as we honor America and our troops serving at home and around the world with the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Gemma Keldrock.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gemma Keldrock. Oh yeah, baby. Phoenix, we are on our feet. It is time to crown a champion here in Phoenix for the first time since 2009 in the Valley, just where we belong. Oh my gosh.
All right, let's take a look at the road to the women's title here, Cameron. Things got interesting in the semifinals.
Yes, they did. The top seeds going down, so that's where you're seeing Cheng and Flint, as well as Kloth and Nuss into the final, and you gotta love these two teams facing off because they have been efficient in their play. They've been physical in their play, and they've been lights out here in Phoenix. Lights out right now here in the Footprint Center, right?
The Footprint Center has been amazing. AVP inside for the first time since 1996. Let's learn a little bit about our finalists. Let's head down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic day and a half right here at these Phoenix Champions. Some of the best fans in the world have showed up. Ladies and gentlemen, every single match. And it is time for 2 more. It is time to crown a champion. Phoenix, how y'all doing tonight? Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty dang good as well. I'm doing pretty dang good too. Let's meet the teams, shall we? Always repping Louisiana. Feed your soul. You know what you two do? You feed our soul every time you go out there. Oh my gosh, who am I gonna go? I'm gonna go to you first. Yes, I am, young lady. Yeah, this girl, are you kidding me? She comes from South Dakota all the way down to Louisiana. She just decides to go off. She wins every single match she gets to, and she just keeps it rolling in her professional career as well. Now looking to go 3-time champions on the AVP Tour in 2022. Let me hear it for Taryn Kloth. And her partner, the pride of Metairie, down in New Orleans, tried and true. She ain't going anywhere. She's staying in New Orleans. She, ladies and gentlemen, representing Louisiana State University. Go Tigers all day long with Kristen Nuss. And their opponents. We're gonna start with our hometown girl, and she is loving playing here in the Footprint Center. Her serve is so on fire this weekend. It is messing everybody up, and she is loving the support she is getting from you out of Desert Vista High School right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Let me hear it for Betsy Flint. Come on, Betsy. Oh, I know. Isn't that ridiculous? Okay. Talk about this young player, everybody. A multiple-time national champion out of USC. Yeah. She has got an incredible, just an addictive personality when you get a chance to meet her on the sand or off the sand. One day, people are going to be going to Comic-Con dressing like you. You know that. That's the dream. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Fullerton, California, and USC, it's Kelly Cheng.
The number 4 seed taking on the number 3 seed for the championship here in Phoenix. On the left side, number 4, Kloth and Kristen Nuss. On the right side of your screen, the number 3 seed, Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint. This is going to be a battle. This is what the crowd has come out for, to see the championship. Who will take home the crown? We are all set and ready to go. Dane Bland alongside Cameron Irwin. And this is going to include some fireworks for sure. A nice roll shot by Nuss.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who people go after, right? Whether they go after Kristen Nuss or Taryn Kloth. And going, well, Kristen Nuss, she looks a little undersized. Well, she's 5'6", but she will cut you up. Incredible shots from Kristen Nuss. She can also bring the pace. Then you got to deal with Taryn Kloth in the same regard. She's bringing a ton of pace and power from a high point.
Nice poke shot to the deep corner from Kelly Cheng, the 2-time national champion at USC. She actually won more than 2 national championships, but for the team competition, 2 titles.
And Kelly Cheng just misses that, but what she can bring is a really tough serve, and she pairs it with a really nice block, as well as the option play, which means she'll go on 2. So that first contact coming off the platform of Betsy Flint, watch for Kelly Cheng to be very aggressive. Instead of setting her partner, she'll go up and take a swing at the ball.
Free ball opportunity for Taryn Kloth. Kloth loves that cut shot. She gets on top of that one, and it hits the line.
And I love the steadiness there. The high ball, sometimes a free ball, as simple as it may seem, sometimes it can trip you up a little bit because you overthink it. And I love the simple ball placement right there from Taryn Kloth.
Kloth and Nuss up 3-1. Jump serve out of the middle over to Betsy Flint. Flint down the line is dug by Nuss. Kelly Cheng goes straight cross court. Nuss is there. The flare set outside, and then there's Nuss to cut it down.
These two have played together since their time at LSU, and what I love is that their chemistry shows right here. They understand where this ball is going to be in terms of their transition play. This comes right back to a nice dig, and watch this. Immediately, flare set. There's not even communication really right there. They already know they're running that play, pushing it to the pin.
Just kind of have a feel, have a vibe. That's that chemistry that Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth have between them. That serve into the top of the net, but you can see from the get-go, Kloth and Nuss really trying to press the issue from the back line, serving tough.
Taryn Kloth has brought it in terms of that service pressure on this weekend. This is jumper sand, which means a little bit more shallow, and all of these athletes are going to be able to get out of it that much more. There's the option play I was talking about. Doesn't just show up in the side out, or excuse me, in the side out game, but also in transition.
Take a look at Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint results this season. They started off the season getting 3rd place in Austin, then were victorious in New Orleans, and they've had some steady and consistent finishes. 3rd in the last Gold Series event in Chicago, and so they come to this event as the number 3 seed. Here comes Nuss on the right side, and she just snaps it down outside the left hand of blocking Kelly Cheng.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room to work with there, considering the fact, look at the antenna and where the block is. She's got about 1.5 feet to work with. That's not much space, but does a nice job finding the hole.
Here comes Nuss. Jump float serve hits the back of the head of Kloth, who's waiting at the net. You don't see that very often. Nuss apologetic.
I love these two in terms of their personality and how they work together. Great friends on and off the court. They actually are also roommates as well as teammates.
Nuss down the line, has such range. Remember, she's only 5'6" tall, having to deal with some of the trees out there. 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", and she doesn't have a problem with any of them.
I'm already wondering if they have, if somebody's coined the term for their handshake. This backhand like slap thing. Watch it. It's kind of entertaining to watch from Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss.
Nice reaction time by Kloth up at the net after the perfect dig by Nuss in the backcourt.
Not only can she run down and chase shots, she can also dig the hard-driven ball. Kristen Nuss doing a nice job defensively from the start.
Taryn Kloth out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Ripping that jump serve middle to middle. Big block at the net. Cheng gets her approach and then unleashes cross court to Nuss, who can't handle that one.
You know, it's interesting, Dane, you think about this weekend, Friday and Saturday for these two teams. If I were to pick 2 of the top serving teams in terms of their performance, it'd probably be these two out on the sand. Both Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng are going to bring you tons of pressure in that regard. Taryn Kloth has stepped up in regards to her service pressure.
7-6, Kloth and Nuss with a 1-point lead. Set number 1. And there's a shot by Taryn Kloth. You don't see that often. Taryn Kloth, Kristen Nuss winning the first event and also the last Gold Series event in Chicago, and a lot of consistency in between. This team is extremely dangerous, 3-1 in title matches, so they've capitalized on their opportunities once they've gotten to this point.
35-1 when winning that first set as well.
But what an up by Flint. It's going to be a free ball opportunity for Nuss, and it looks like Kloth will try to do it on the second contact, and she misses. So an open net, a huge opportunity right there for Kloth.
Yeah, just misses that wide, and it was a really nice hustle play from Kelly Cheng right there. She still gets back up to the net, but not in front of the attack. Gets a little bit lucky there. But it's interesting, you know, you think about the victories for Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss, and I was, just before this match, trying to come up with maybe a duo that has won that many in just the first season playing together. On their first season, not just playing together, but on tour, right? You think they won 1 last year. They have an additional 2 this season. So in 2 seasons played, can you think of any other women's duo that came out and won that many titles in their first 2 seasons already?
I'd have to look in the history books. It's quite an accomplishment.
It is. Just 24 and 25 years old.
But yeah, you know, we measure it a lot more now because we have this collegiate system. We didn't really track when people were playing yet, because some people were playing in college, not beach, but just playing on the beach. So, you know, I'd have to look at like a Misty May.
Yeah. Or an April Ross.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you got to think about it, because there's still, those are the 2 names that come to mind. And when you're talking about these two, out here on the sand to compare. That's where you have to go to, right? That's pretty remarkable.
Here comes Kloth. And she loves that angle, and Betsy Flint could not be sharp enough to get it right there.
Just to give you some context too, Kelly Cheng's been on tour about supposedly 10-ish seasons. Still playing some while she was at university. She has 2 career AVP wins. Betsy Flint has 6. These two, 3 already in 2 seasons played.
Here comes Betsy Flint out of Loyola Marymount University. She digs the ball in the backcourt. She's going to have an opportunity right here, but she gets stopped by Terry Kloth.
Yeah, that's really tough on Betsy Flint right there. Just kind of got shoved into that corner. It's tough to go up and over the block of Terry Kloth.
Terry Kloth and Kristen Nuss at LSU, undefeated their senior season. Great move by Kloth right there. Protected the on-2 and then was moved laterally to try to block, and it caused the hitter to go out of bounds.
Betsy and Kelly just missing by small margins right now in terms of some of their hitting errors. They're coming out of a bad side about maybe a foot outside the court to 6 inches. So they start turning those into the court. It's going to get a little interesting.
At the technical timeout, Kloth and Nuss up 11-10. Here in the Footprint Center down in downtown Phoenix, the crowd really has come out to support this event. They want this event here every year. A lot of night matches under the lights, of course, indoors. It's just a little different vibe than we're used to, Cameron.
No, and it's just so fun as you take a look at the champions from 2022. This is what they've all been waiting for. All these champions wanted to play here in Phoenix, right? You got to take a look at the Gold Series, as those are the big-time wins to get into this event. Your best 2 out of 3. You see Terry Kloth, Kristen Nuss picking up the first event. And then it was Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint picking up the win in New Orleans for that title. Terry Kloth, Kristen Nuss again, bookending this 2022 season, winning in Chicago. And don't forget, too, that Manhattan Beach final, it was Syracuse Kelly Polinsky against Kelly Cheng as well as Betsy Flint. So it's been so fun to see the amount of parity on the women's side. We've talked about it endless times on the men's side as well. But there's a new wave, a new guard, thanks to the collegiate game as all of these women come into the sport.
Here in the technical timeout here at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. Dane Bland alongside Cameron Irwin bringing you all the action. Women's final, number 3 versus number 4, Flint and Cheng versus Nuss and Kloth. Both teams really come out ready to go.
Out of the technical timeout, more often than not, Kloth and Nuss have been going after Betsy Flint. She's been served 6 times to this point in set number 1.
Here's Kristen Nuss. Jump float serve down the middle. Poke shot is dug by Nuss. But over the net by Kloth. Can't handle it. Can't get the control. And Kelly Cheng making him pay for it.
French fries on the board.
Topspin jump serve. Haven't seen that in a while. Out of Cheng. She's got a lethal serve when it starts hitting. And there's a nice shot deep to the corner by Flint.
Making sure to add that extra element of depth to that shot, not just out of reach in terms of the lateral motion for Kristen Nuss. I like that play from Betsy Flint right there.
Flint and Cheng leading 12-11. Jump serve by Cheng is solid drop. She got it up. She's going to get it over with a free ball. Opportunity and
some interesting contacts on that rally right there from Flint and Cheng. I think they just got each of them a little bit twisted up there.
Nonetheless, 12 all. Kloth and Nuss tie it up. There's a nice traditional top spin serve by Kloth, and she's going to throw this one back. She saw that the shot was coming, delayed her jump, and just threw that one back in the sand.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just love that the entirety of Phoenix all just started putting up the monster block before we could even get the monster block queued up. This was just a nice little tip dunk from Kloth.
Unleashing first Kloth with a rip of the serve, and then Kelly Cheng comes in, hits that ball on two. That's her signature hit right there, just crushing it on the second contact.
She just took the air out of this place. Everyone astonished by that swing. 6
kills by Kelly Cheng, just 1 error. And there's Kelly Cheng getting into the block party, pressing over.
Like I said, there's
that was nice timing.
That's a great block.
Great timing right there. So back-to-back plays from Kelly Cheng, the attack and then the nice block.
Deep shot, Rainbow is picked up, but they cannot get it over the net. That was an incredible stab by Flint.
It was, and I love that she's got that in the scouting report against Kristen Nuss. Kristen Nuss, if you remember back to Chicago, one of the ways in which she was beating so many teams is with that jumbo shot. A lot of teams trying to make the adjustment right there. Betsy Flint's got that locked in on the scouting report, making the play, but not able to turn the point.
Kristen Nuss over to Betsy Flint. Flint opts to go out of the middle of the court, but Nuss has it once again. And there's the shot right down the line. Nuss just in the right place at the right time, each and every time.
Speaking of scouting report, Kristen Nuss, her internal scouting report is one of the best on tour. So disciplined in her reads and her reactions. Plus she executes on great contact.
Cut shot, ball never clears the net right there. And so Kloth and Nuss, just like that, up 16-14. Let's start to speculate a little bit, Cameron. If they win here, that would be 3 wins on the year. Wow, would that be impressive?
Oh, without a doubt, and that's why I brought up what they had done in terms of coming out on the AVP Tour even the year before in their very first event ever in Atlanta, picking up the win. Then they come here, pick up 2 more, back in Austin, then Chicago. And if they close it out here, I think this is a team that everyone, when they first came out, there were questions. Are they going to stick together? You got an undersized defender at 5'6" and Kloth, and I love they committed to one another.
Kloth and Nuss up 16-14. Back here at Footprint Center, timeout on the court. Let's take a look at our Monster Hydro monster block of the match so far. It's Kloth getting up and over the net, and on that one, the slam, one-handed dunk, as you called it, Cameron, and that's our Monster Hydro block of the match.
Make it plural, blocks of the match. Kloth showing up at the net.
Nice dig by Nuss. And this time goes the complete opposite direction. It was down the line last time. This time it's the cut shot. She has just a plethora of shots, and it's been confusing the defense.
Yeah, and that's why she's so good in terms of her offensive efficiency. She has just about every shot in the book from both the left and the right side.
Great up, a one-handed stab, and then she's gonna go down the line and just missed it right there. Level of difficulty was off the charts, but she went for it anyway.
Just so much sauce on that ball. Do you see how much spin that thing came off her hand? I mean, that is a beautiful shot from Betsy Flint. To even get a hand on that is remarkable.
(17-15), Kloth and Nuss. Kelly Cheng from the end line, right in the middle, trying to split the defense. And look at that, Kloth maybe taking notes from Kristen Nuss right there with that beautiful line shot.
Yeah, and she does a nice job getting her feet in on that ball, just slightly inside, and does a nice wrist high line shot over the top of the block. Taking what the defense is giving her, I like that.
Here comes Kloth, out of the middle as well. Trickler goes to Flint. Late on the block with a quick arm swing by Flint, and that results in a kill.
When we talk about Nuss having all the shots in the book, so does Betsy Flint right there. She can bring the pace when it's needed, and right there, nice job taking a rip at the ball.
Tight set, and Nuss knows what to do with it. Great cut shot. 19-16.
And that's so tough as a blocker, right? As you see the blocks per match, Cheng Kloth highlighted now on screen at 2.8 in terms of the season. But it's so tough. You think that ball's tight, so as a blocker, you want to go and press your hands over the net. But Nuss waits till your full extension, lets that ball drop, and then shoots it over you as you're falling. That's just crafty.
Out of the middle of the court. Flint tries to beat Kloth, but Kloth gets to the spot in time, and another stuff block.
Monster block it is. Phoenix raising those hands.
Phoenix absolutely loving the monster block. Kloth and Nuss now at set point. Catches Flint high on that left shoulder, and Nuss is there. And there is the put away. Kristen Nuss putting on an absolute show in the backcourt, switching that defense to offense so quickly. And wow, just like that, they close the door.
And remember, 35-1 when winning the first set for Kloth and Nuss. But important to note, Flint and Cheng, their pass and set wasn't quite there in set number 1. We saw very few options from Kelly Cheng. Look for that to be the difference maker in set number 2.
Well, it's Kristen Nuss and Cheng Kloth who win set number 1, 21-16. Flint and Cheng try to reverse their fortune after the break. The AVP converted the Footprint Center here in downtown Phoenix to a beach. It took 300 tons of sand to construct this beautiful center court. It's a different look, and the last time an official AVP event was held indoors was back in 1996 in New York. And now we are in Phoenix for the championships, and this has just been a beautiful sight. So great having these night matches. It's about 95 degrees outside, but it's a nice
65
cool
indoors.
65 in here, and so the players have been loving it as we take a look at set one stats.
Yes, I mean, obviously you pay attention to that hitting efficiency. That's the big one, but that's because of the pass and set of Flint and Cheng maybe not being up to par, what they're looking for. And it's interesting, you think about Jordan Cheng, the coach for these two, and one of the conversations I always remember having with them is Betsy Flint talking about how she used to think her passing was whether it was a 3-point pass or a 4-point pass, and Jordan Cheng grades them so hard that it has now upped her passing ability. So I just think they have to turn on that mentality a little bit. A good pass isn't enough right now. They need to get that ball up to the net, try and get that option ball involved a little bit more to get their offense rolling.
Having fun out here, little musical chairs. I don't know about the rules of this one.
I think that's the only time you ever want to find yourself in the mouth of a shark.
Anything goes right there. I love how the rules get bent in all those games on center court. Coming back out for this second set. It was all smiles on the side of Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng coming out of that timeout. I don't know what they talked about, but they're feeling pretty good despite the fact that they lost that first set. So let's see if they have some tricks up their sleeve to turn this thing around.
Just a few numbers to pay attention to that I'll give you that won't necessarily show up on the stat sheet, but our statistician Doug Stroud's doing a nice job giving us some really cool numbers to look at, including the side-out percentage. In terms of the team side-out percentage for Kloth and Nuss, 63% in set number one. For Cheng and Flint, just 41%. So often in the game of beach volleyball, we talk about that side-out percentage. It's so critical. How quickly can you get that ball back?
And here we are, underway in the second set. Kloth and Nuss winning the first set, 21-16. We're just joining us, Dave Lang and Cameron Irwin calling the action, and a little controversy here.
Wow, this ball called out of bounds, and it looked like that hit right on the line. Wow, and the fans are not happy about it either. Watch out, I think they just poked the bear.
Flint served it over to Nuss. Here comes Nuss on the right, and she's dug by Flint. Flint can't put that one away from off the net, but Kristen Nuss can, and her conversion rate has really been off the charts. When she gets that ball up defensively in the backcourt, she is converting it to offense.
Yeah, without a doubt. Take a look at this shot right here. Betsy Flint doing such a nice job with that left-handed stab. But then look at how much room she has to work with when she attacks out of the middle for Kristen Nuss, opening up some angles back towards that sideline.
Seemed like they doubled up on the angle.
They did.
She had the whole street down the line. Here comes Flint. The roll shot's going to be gobbled up easily by Nuss that time, and she's going to rainbow it to the corner. And Kristen Nuss is putting on a clinic right now on how to play defense. See how disciplined she is? She's reading the hitter, taking off on time. Wow, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, and another one to pay attention to in terms of some numbers. Team TKN got 9 real points on 15 serves to Flint in set number one.
Ball is out of bounds. Did you see Taryn Kloth? Wow, did her homework. She dropped on Kelly Cheng's poke over two, and that's a risky play. If you don't get up there, sometimes Kelly Cheng's going to smash that. Deep float. Cameron, I know you like that. Getting the left shoulder, inside high left shoulder. You know, it's so interesting. Every player has a little spot in serve receive where they might not be able to pass that ball just perfect. It's hard to find what that is.
Especially at this level, right? So you're just trying to find maybe that small margin that gets them, instead of 2 feet off the net, maybe it's 5 feet off the net and changes the look of their offense. And not just that, maybe it's not the pass off the net, but maybe it's the location in which they have to hit the ball. Can you bring them across the court? Can you make them hit out of the middle? Can you make them hit from the sideline? There's a lot you can do with a serve besides just acing an opponent.
The players taking a side switch. Increments of 7. We usually do that because of the sun or because of the wind, but we don't have that. But you did some research down on the court and you said some of the air conditioning is creating a little wind. Did we find out if there was a good side and a bad side?
Not so much a good side and a bad side, but that right side of the court for where Kristen Nuss is. So on the left side of your screen right now, there's a little bit of a draft that can go that direction. Some of the air conditioning pushing the ball in a serve, and it actually will make the serve kind of drop the bottom out of the ball. And so the position right now Kelly Cheng is currently in makes it a little bit tough. As a reminder, Team TKN 3-1 in finals. It's a wild ratio, and that's a big reason why the block of Taryn Kloth right there.
She was just hovering at the net, waiting, timing. She's really aware of when that ball is going to be shot or when it's going to be hit. She knows this is going to be shot, delays it a little bit, and just throws it back. She's on fire.
Well, and I love seeing some of those taller blockers, right? They have a tendency to stay at the net longer because they can start to swat some of those balls away. Love that right there from Betsy Flint. Fast with those feet to get in and find that back to the line. That's not easily done in terms of having to work your feet to the left, get that ball on your right shoulder, to then pull it back to the line. That was a nasty serve.
Kristen Nuss just making it look a little bit too easy right there. Pass is on point, comes in, takes a look, and wow.
Right now, Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth kind of just have an answer for everything. That was a phenomenal serve from Kelly Cheng. So much pace, push to the back line. That's about as good as it gets, and perfectly passed.
There's a beautiful high rainbow shot by Flint to the corner, and she has that look on her face that she knows they need to get something going, get some momentum on their side. They can't just go back and forth and trade blows. They need to get a bit of a lead.
And sometimes it can throw you off a little bit. Kristen Nuss, when she sets at times, watch her finish, because she has this finish where her left hand is higher than her right. The ball still comes out clean, but if you're just watching her contact, you're going, how is that coming out clean? Because it's one hand and kind of the other at the same time. That one a little bit quicker on the finish. When she's really pushing that ball up there, it will throw you off.
8-6 on the side change. Kloth and Nuss leading by 2. They won the first set here in our championship final and trying to make it straight sets. There's that set that you're talking about. Perfect location.
Yeah, she finished a little bit more those hands together on that one. Speaking of great sets, that was a really nice one.
Falling backwards from about 6-7 feet off the net.
It reminds me of April Ross, right? April Ross would do crazy things like that where she's about 7 feet off the net and she's like, no, I'm going to show you I can drop this one right in front of you. The ball on hand right there is just phenomenal in terms of the contact and control from Kristen Nuss.
Complete command. Nuss back to serve. right there. And again, Kristen Nuss cleaning it up at the end.
A 10th point for her team taking, and I like that they get handshakes from their coach versus high fives. Hey, makes sense after that rally. Here's a look at the Wilson play of the day. This is the last one. I just love that tomahawk dig off her right shoulder. Are you kidding me, Kristen Nuss? That is a beautiful dig and a great touch there to the line finisher. That again is your Wilson volleyball play of the day. Team CKN, the chance coming here in Phoenix.
Yeah, so many options for us to pick. Great plays. We're seeing some high-level volleyball right now in this women's final, and Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss really have been efficient. 16 kills for Nuss. Here we are in the midst of the second set of our championship match. Kloth and Nuss up 10-6 in this one. They won the first set 21-16. The crowd having an absolute blast. I think the crowd's favorite move is that monster block for sure. And they've gotten their fill of it today with Kloth up at the net, is having a good one.
Without a doubt, they're also starting, I think, to work on the wave. We'll see if that takes full effect here.
Net violation by Cheng and Flint. And I'll tell you, when it rains, it pours right now for Kloth and Nuss. Everything going their way, and Cheng and Flint trying to get something going, get some momentum. Big hit by Cheng, but it's not enough. Kristen Nuss scoops it up and then bangs it down.
Kristen Nuss continuing to answer the call. Stepping up again with a much-needed dig right there into the angle and the option. Anything they're throwing at them, they have the answer for, Dane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy right now, the efficiency of both Kloth and Nuss. And that shot gets outside the left hand, so beautiful shot right there. Not a lot of room to work with for Flint.
No, not a lot of room to work with, but I will say that is one area she has had success, is that line shot over the top of Taryn Kloth, or more so kind of slithering that past her forearm on the block.
How about Kloth doing her homework, waiting, delaying, and jumping into that cross-body pokey?
Well, and you heard the left call. That was the area of the court that Betsy Flint was calling for her partner Kelly Cheng to hit, but all of a sudden the block appears. Just got to go up and over that. That's hard on Kelly Cheng to see that ball, or excuse me, to see that block.
Kelly Cheng has really been putting a little extra on it. She ripped that last serve after that tip shot. Now she brings it, and she is fired up. And it's got to be a little bit frustrating. Sometimes you just run into a team that is absolutely on fire, and that is no Kloth and Nuss right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, at 13-8 right now, the answers again continue to come. It's 5 blocks for Taryn Kloth. Kristen Nuss currently hitting 519. She's 17 of 27 with only 3 hitting errors. They're hitting 439 as a team. It's coming in every phase of the game right now, minus the aces category.
Kristen Nuss, 27 attacks, 17 kills. Geez, 15 digs, 519. This is an all-star performance so far, and they've built this 5-point lead here at the technical.
We're going to slow it down. Let's slow it down. Yes, we're going to go around one more time. We're slowing the clock is
13-8 coming out of the technical timeout. Kloth and Nuss have been in complete control. Cameron, what has to happen on the other side of the net? I think Kelly Cheng trying to turn up the intensity, but this is a tough one to answer.
Yeah, and especially when you're trying to figure out that option play, right? They saw the block into the angle for Cheng, then she found one going the opposite direction to the right. So let's see if she can still continue to get that going.
Finally, an error for Kristen Nuss, and that one not by far, maybe an inch or two wide, but she has been nearly perfect in this championship final. And that ball is dug and put away by Nuss as she goes to the retreating blocker, Cheng. And make it 14-9.
Well, and right there, too, you hear the right call from Betsy Flint, who's on the ground after digging that ball, getting it pushed up to the net, and instead it goes to the left, hits the net, gets a little extra help for Kristen Nuss on the dig.
That's beautiful right there. A little jumbo to the corner from Betsy Flint. She hit that one just perfect.
A little taste of Kristen Nuss's medicine right there, going jumbo over the top of the defense. Nice job by Betsy Flint. See the numbers there. Struggling a little bit offensively. I think you go back to that pass and set, though, for those two. And that's how good you have to serve to get them out of system right now.
Yeah, she's bombing. She knows Kelly Cheng has pushed that button of urgency, knowing that there's no time to rest now. You have to get yourself back into this one.
Well, tons of pressure on that line-to-line serve right now. You can see her pushed all the way to the left side. And back-to-back on the sideline, but a perfect ball.
Through the net there. What'd you see?
I saw Taryn Kloth give a little extra on that high five to Kristen Nuss. I think that got her a little bit on the edge, and I like it. You got somebody yelling at you through the net?
Yeah.
That's when you
Stakes
look across and say, bring it on.
Yeah, why not? And that's what we love about the sport of volleyball. You know, you're divided by a net, so usually there's no real crazy confrontation. Here in the middle of set two, Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint starting to fire it up, trying to get themselves back into this one.
And Kelly Cheng, take a look at this. This is the White Claw pure spike of the day, and it was on one of those options. You saw her rip it back towards the line. She's bringing all the fire right now. Again, that was a White Claw pure spike of the day. 8 kills, 17 attacks, hitting .294. Making it a 2-point game for this second set. There's a difference in efficiency here in set number 2. We saw back-to-back balls down the line, tough serves.
Here we go, 14-12, Kloth and Nuss with the lead, and Kloth giving it back right there, a little on-two option.
A little, again, a taste of their own medicine. She goes with the option play out of the timeout. Are you kidding me? Oh, I love that. It was all right, Kelly Cheng. You get up to the net now.
And Cheng tries to go on two from a pass that was way out to the antenna, and that ball ends up out of bounds. Point for Kloth and Nuss. It's tough. You know that option play, you just can't force it.
No, you gotta have the pass to be able to get there, and that was a big part of that set number 1. Wasn't able to quite get into the system they were looking for. 7 feet off, and another hitting error. Well off the net.
I like that Kelly Cheng has gotten kind of fired up, trying to really rally her team, but you have to do it in a controlled way. It can't just be harder and harder right there, and that set was a little bit off the net. Hard to get a winner out of that. 17 serving 12. They're calling 4 hits, and they're not complaining, Kloth and Nuss. I don't know if I saw it. I thought it was legal what they did, but everybody agrees. Betsy Flint Back to serve Kelly Cheng at the net. They need to score right here. Whole left side of the court open, and Nuss recognizes it immediately.
Nuss again with that great contact from the right side. Sees the block of defense all lined up.
Nuss all over this one. And Flint's going to have an opportunity, and she capitalizes right there for their 14th point. It is a 4-point ball game.
And I love the fight right there from Flint and Cheng. Watch this offense. They pick up this ball from Kristen Nuss, Betsy Flint. Nice job on the cut, and then she works behind the set, finding herself some pace out of the middle with a shorter angle too. She didn't have as much room to work with coming from the middle, but still plenty.
Here comes Cheng, and she hits this one long, so. Right now, Kloth and Nuss have to be thinking, we just need a couple of side outs, 2 points to claim the Phoenix Championships. That ball just long, so we'll make it 19-15. Kloth and Nuss. Betsy Flint all the way back, starting her approach for a jump float. And there's the option by Kloth over the top of Cheng, and just like that, we are at 2002 AVP Phoenix Championships point. Here we go, championship point. Kristen Nuss goes over to Flint. Flint rips the ball right in the seam, right between Kloth and Nuss.
I love that seam ball. They got the big block down the line, Kristen Nuss into the angle. That's just a small seam for Betsy Flint to work with.
Championship point number 2 for Kloth and Nuss. And the cut shot does not make it over the net, so there is still some life for Flint and Cheng. They're trying to erase this deficit, trying to get back to a deuce game here. Match point number 3 for Kloth and Nuss. Beautiful serve by Cheng. And the rainbow shot down the line, and Kloth and Nuss are your 2022 AVP Phoenix champions.
Just beautiful play from Team TKN. The energy, 21-16, 21-17. At the full jump. Oh, don't do it. Oh, they do it.
It's going to hurt her back.
The three-peat in 2022 for TKN.
Yeah, what a year it has been, winning the first event in Austin, winning the final Gold Series event in Chicago, and then coming here to the AVP Phoenix Championships and bringing home the trophy, really separating themselves from the rest of the pack. They were the only team that had won twice on the 2022 tour. Now it's 3 victories for them in this 2022 season. And it's time for the Kona Brewing Company. Cheers to the champs. They're getting used to that one. So Kloth and Nuss celebrating here on center court. We'll be back with the champions interview.
We all know it's a good idea to recycle. But what happens to that aluminum can or all that paper after you?
Here we are with the final stats for the championship that was dominated by Kloth and Nuss.
Just incredible play right there as you look through the stat sheet. An offensive performance that was phenomenal. 385 for them in terms of their efficiency. They were electric at the net as well with 5 total blocks for Kloth. She was picking them up on the hard driven, on the shots over the top. It was so fun to watch those two work side by side, picking up their 3rd title in 2022.
Yeah, I don't know if I have seen such an exhibition of skill in the backcourt. Kristen Nuss just started off the finals on fire, and she ended it the same way. She set the tone, and her conversion rate was absolutely amazing. Let's hear from the champions. Let's head down to our very own Mark Sherman.
Down here with your champions, Taryn and Kristen. Yes, you know what, Kristen, enjoy that. Take a drink. I'm going to chat with Taryn for a second. Talk about why you forget that you get a trophy. You've won 4 times now.
I don't know how I forget, but you just get so focused on the game, and then you get a trophy after. So.
Oh my gosh, it's just what a deal. What a deal. Talk about the support. All these Louisianans coming over here to Arizona. What's it feel like to have the TKN crew with you everywhere?
Louisiana and South Dakota and Nebraska. Woo!
This environment, so much fun, not only for all the fans, also being under the lights here in the stadium. What's it like to play on this sand, to play in this environment, Kristen?
Absolutely unreal. I think when we walked in the first day, we were so just wide-eyed. We were like, this is incredible. And Phoenix, y'all showed out. So thank you so much. I hope we do this. I hope we can keep getting to come back because the atmosphere, absolutely insane. Fans, unbelievable. Woo!
You guys, woo indeed, yes. Every match, you guys found a moment where you just sort of took over, somewhere in the middle of set number 1. And what's going on there? There's something about that.
You just see the look in Kristen's eyes, and she is like, it is go time. I don't want to have anything touch the sand, and that's when you go. When Kristen gives you the look, you just go.
Yes, Kristen, give me the look. There it is, that's the look. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-time AVP 2022 champions here in Phoenix. Your winners, Taryn, Kloth, and Kristen Nuss.
Well, some incredible trophies there. Congratulations to our champions. There's one more award to give out, and that's the TNNS Dig of the Day. And who, of course? Well, Kristen Nuss.
Kristen Nuss finishing off right there. I love that she could dig not only the shots, but the hard-driven ones coming her direction. A huge part of why this team has been so successful in 2022.
An amazing showing for Kloth and Nuss. For Mark Sherman, Rich Lamborn, Cameron Irwin, and our entire Echo Production crew, I'm Dane Blanton. We'll see you next time.